Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing my August TBR. I never usually do TBRs because I am very much a mood reader and I don't ever stick to any plans. I just go with the flow. But this month is the Spooky Smart Bitch Readathon from Readathon Reads that has some interesting prompts. This is a very generous TBR. I don't know if I'll get to everything, but here's hoping, right? I will link to Readathon's channel down below, but I'm sure you know who she is because she is a horror queen, a horror icon in the booktube community. I just love her. She's so fucking funny, and I want to be friends with her. So Readathon, if you're watching, hi. Can we be friends? I'll call you, you call me. So the Spooky Smart Bitch Readathon begins August 1st and ends August 30th. So that's great. I have the whole month to read these books. There are a few prompts. The first prompt, to read a horror novel based on a true story or a true crime novel. And I got the perfect book for that. I recently picked up The Devil in the White City at a thrift store for $2. And I've been wanting to read this book for years. It's about the Chicago World's Fair, and it focuses on H.H. Holmes, who was a crazy serial killer back in the day, who built this house that he would have booby traps in throughout, and he was just really messed up. So I'm really interested to read this story. I heard it's pretty dense at times, but it's also really good. So I hope to get to this and finally read it. Next prompt on the list is to read a horror book by an LGBTQIA author, which I have a few. I have several. So this is one I am dying to get to. This book. It is everywhere. If you haven't noticed, this book is about two women who meet in an online chat room, and I think things go pretty dark. They're pretty disturbing, and that's all I know. I don't want to know too much, but I love that it's set in the internet era, like when chat rooms and stuff were popular, and this cover is extremely disturbing, and I know that there's eyeballs involved, and I want to know what happens to this person's eyeballs, but it's probably not good. Thank you so much, because the author of this sent it to me for an honest review, and that right there, I just love you, okay? And I want everybody to go support this author because I think it's amazing. This book is from a small press, but I've been seeing it in Barnes & Noble, which is pretty cool. I think that's awesome. So yeah, the next prompt is to read a translated horror novel, and I have a few of those that I'm really excited to get to. One of which would be Rings. Now this is based on the Ring movie is based on this book, and if you don't know, The Ring is about a mysterious videotape that is cursed, and if you watch it, you die 7 days later, and the investigative journalist who is trying to solve the curse because her son watched the tape and she doesn't want him to die. So I don't know if the book is exactly the same as the movie, but we'll find out. I am really excited about this because I love The Ring and I want to see how the book compares. And another translated horror is Out. I mean, I guess this is more horror adjacent. It's like a psychological thriller, it sounds like, but it's about a woman who is in an abusive relationship with her husband, and she finally murders him, and then she asks her friends to help dispose of his body. Like, how could I not want to read this? And the cover, just so creepy. Vigilante justice, I'm all for it. When you're an abusive prick, you know? This is also a translated horror novel I want to read. I don't know much about this, but I know that it's set in a seaside village where this man's wife and child go missing, and he's trying to find them. And it sounds really strange. So, and the cover is intriguing. The next one is to read a horror novel written by a woman. So I'm gonna go with The Firekeeper's Daughter, which it sounds more true crimey and psychological thrillery than horror, but this is my TBR and I can do what I want, okay? So I don't know much, but I know it takes place on a reservation. A young girl gets wrapped up in a murder investigation on an Indian reservation, so it sounds intriguing and really interesting, and the cover is so beautiful. Another book I would love to get to this month is The Other Black Girl. This is about a black girl who gets a job in a publisher in New York, and there's already another black girl working there, and I think it's just a commentary on how publishing is very much white and there's only room for one black person, and it's described as Get Out, so I'm very interested to read this one. The next prompt is read a horror written by a BIPOC author. So a few of the books on my list can already go with that prompt, but I also have additional books I would like to read which also fit another prompt. So this is The Devil in Silver by Victor LaValle, which also falls under a prompt of read a book you don't see anybody on social media talking about. It says Pepper is the surprised inmate of a mental institution in Queens, New York. In the darkness of his room on his first night, a terrifying creature with the body of an old man and the head of a bison nearly kills him before being hustled away by the hospital staff. Okay, say no more. Say no more. The other book I want to read, which was a part of the Nightworms July package, is Razorblade Tears, which is described as a story of retribution and redemption, and I think it sounds really good. And the other one is to read a horror manga, which I don't have yet. I would love to read another Junji Ito if I can find it. There's also a chosen book that everybody will read together, and that is The Taking of Jake Livingston, which I don't have yet, but I really want to read it. So other books that are not a part of this readathon that I need to read that I have include Joyland, which is the Horror in 24 pick for the month of August. This is set in a carnival, and that is just perfect summer vibes to me. And then we have the Final Girl Support Group, which is the newest book from Grady Hendrix, which it follows a group of girls who are known as Final Girls that survived serial killers, and they have a support group and somebody begins hunting them off one by one, I believe. This is one of my most anticipated books. It's just there's so many books to read right now. It's overwhelming and I don't have enough time. I still need to get through Goblin, or get to Goblin. I still haven't gotten to it, but it's just so beautiful. Maybe I can read a story or two in this. That's a lot of books that I'm probably not going to be able to read. But, you know, be positive and things can happen. The power of positivity. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Do you plan on participating in the Spooky Smart Bitch Readathon? Let me know what books you're reading this month, and I would love to chat about that down below, and I'll also leave my social links down below so we can chat on there as well. And hit that like button if you liked this. If you didn't, that's okay. That's okay, but it makes me sad a little. No, you know what? No, it doesn't. It's okay. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like me. Anyway, I gotta go eat some Doritos and maybe watch some more horror movies instead of reading the books that I just talked about. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.